You already know what the fuck going on, bitch. Lil Tay's back. It's been 5 years and y'all still broke.
Infamous Lil Tay Is Back. And before we get into the video, I just want to say that Lil Tay reveals a lot of allegations. You know, these are just hearsay, this is just things that she says. And I don't know if they're true or not, but for now, they're just allegations, so we'll take it with a grain of salt because there's a lot of things from the past that were, untrue. They were false, they were lies and everything, and, take it lightly.
He was bringing, when I was living with him, these are all events that happened before I became famous because he had not been in my life for years before then. He was bringing random ass women around all the time and literally hooking up with them in front of me. I was a child. And one of those women was named Shima Ali, his assistant. This is her. These are not private this is her Facebook wallpaper. These are not private photos. Oh my God. I remember one time, it was the middle of the night, and I was awakened by them next to me in the bed. And I could literally, she had her hand on my leg, and I was frozen in place. I was so young at that time, I had no fucking idea what was going on, and I was just frozen in place. And then I moved, and then that's when she took her leg off my hand. They were literally in bed next to me. They did not care, and they were literally disregarding the fact that I wasn't even there. That's fucking insane.
We can assume that that they were doing the nasty next to her, I mean, that is absolutely disgusting. And why are they lying down in the same bed? I'm like, doesn't he have his own bed? Doesn't she have her own bed, her own room? Doesn't he have his own room? I'm like, what's going on? Like, who in their right mind does such a messed up thing to a child, Children should not be exposed to this type of behavior.
He was hooking up with random women all the time, and he found them off of Craigslist. This is his Craigslist email to a random woman who had an ad. Okay, this is the email trying to hook up with people. This is my mom talking to somebody about it after she found out about it.
There's Tinder, there's, stuff, there's apps like these specifically for these type of things for people to do like the down and dirty stuff, Megamind over here advertising himself on Craigslist to get some pom-pom, the poontang, you heard? I mean, this is messed up behavior because, it just shows that it's showing children, to take relationships lightly and like to have no consideration for anybody and just do it for self-pleasure. I mean, like what are you doing? Just like literally showing them, just saying like, oh, get down and dirty with someone and just go move on to the next person. And that is absolutely what a relationship should not be, A relationship should be, loving, caring for one another and help each other improve. She goes on to say that her father was involved with, multiple different other women, but there's one in specific, Penny Hope. Currently her father's wife, and apparently he met her online while she lived in the Philippines, and supposedly she was a scammer as well. And she goes on to show the records.
This is online. She was a career scammer, so she...
Well, we can't read it, but with a little bit of editing. And these are the alleged victims of Penny Hope's scam. I don't know if they're, valid or not. You know what? In my opinion, I don't like this can easily be fabricated. Like I said, take this with a grain of salt. Like I said, these can be easily fabricated. I tried looking for these people, but I couldn't find anything, on them or about them. But most likely it's just bad research. I mean, on my end. But if you guys find anything, let me know about these people that got scammed. Let me know if you guys can find anything about it.
She would always take out her anger onto me. If her son did anything wrong, it would become my fault. And she punched me, she pinched me. Pinching me was a really big thing. Chris mainly shoved me. And this is one of the worst incidents that happened. This is a police report. They were physically abusing me constantly. And like I said, if her son acted out of line, she would use me as a scapegoat and take it out on me. And in fact, physical abuse of me was so common in this household that her son caught onto it, and he was doing it to me too, and they would just egg him on.
My question is, like, what type of mother, gets mad at their child and takes their anger on the other child? I know it's not her child, but still, like, it's not the child's fault. It's like blaming your child for your own actions, or you're blaming them, whenever you're a bad mom, whenever you're a bad parent. So, like, this makes absolutely no sense. And also, I want to ask, what was the extent of, the punishment? Like, when did she hit you? Did you do something to urge her to hit you, or did she just hit you, for absolutely no reason, or for like the smallest reason? A lot of times there's a bad parent where, they just hit you for no reason. They're angry. Oh, I need to get my anger out, like, which is a bad parent. Those type of parents should really go to jail, because they're bad parents. And plus, who teaches their child to fight one another? Whenever I was growing up, my mom told me, not to fight with my brothers. Because, why? We're not enemies. We're brothers. We're family. We're stuff like that. So, I don't get why her mother, decided to do such a dumb thing. It's dumb. It's idiotic. Anyways, she goes on to say that, they would force her to watch scary movies and put her in a headlock to keep her, in that same place and make her watch the whole entire scary movie. And like I said, I just want to reiterate again, these are allegations. These are alleged. And take this with a grain of salt. So I just want to emphasize that.
They were feeding me the most disgusting ass food. Look at this. What is this shit? This is what they were packing me for lunch. My mom had discovered that they were packing me this bullshit for lunch. Rotten, frozen, parasitic, moldy. Look at this. That's candy. That's expired candy. These are my mom's text messages to him, sending him these photos, and like, why are you sending this to your child for school? These are the text messages. This is him saying he discovered that my mom was sending me lunches after she found out that I was being given rotten food at his place. So she started dropping me off fresh lunches at school. And then what does he say? He says if she continues doing that, he will continue to deduct child support. And my mom was like, what are you talking about? Because how am I supposed to eat what he's giving me? Look at that fuck shit. What is that? She was giving me fresh homemade food, and he was getting angry at her for doing that because I wasn't eating it. But I wasn't eating it anyways because that's disgusting.
Who would send their children with moldy or expired food? If it's like it happens once, then I get it. I mean, if it's happening like multiple times in a row, I'm like, what's going on? Like, you're literally sending your child out on an empty stomach. Like, what are you doing? All the way whenever they're born to, like, I think it's like 13 or 14. That's whenever, like, it truly matters. Whenever they eat, they need to grow, they need to become stronger, not only just with their bones and muscles and organs, their brain too. Well, technically the brain is a muscle, but you guys get what I mean. They need to eat. They cannot be starving, one bit, in my opinion, because like I said, that's their most important stage of life whenever they're growing. And even later on, they still need to eat well and grow,
They did not dress me properly. These are shoes I was wearing. The soles are broken. These aren't even the same pair of shoes. Look, both of these soles are broken. These are the clothing they were providing for me. Meanwhile, he was so preoccupied, while I was wearing broken ass shoes, he was so preoccupied with providing Honey Hope, his wife, with these designer bags. This is not even everything. This is not accounting for shoes, clothing, makeup, luxury vacations. He was literally fulfilling all of her fantasies while I was wearing those broken ass shoes. This is her collection of bags. Look, this is not even all of it. I've seen more. This is her TikTok. She's openly bragging about her fucking designer collection of bags. Meanwhile, what the fuck was I wearing at their house? This shows you what type of person Chris Hope is. You will provide this immoral, horrifying, gold-digging bitch with all of her fantasies, everything, and you can't even put proper shoes onto your own child. And that brings me to my next point.
I mean, like, that's messed up. Like, why are you gonna provide for some random gold digger lady, you know, but not provide for your own child? You know, the one being that you created, like, he created two different beings. But I mean, you'd rather support some random lady, be like, oh, this lady's hot, I'm gonna support her, but then you can't even support your own child. You know, what type of logic is that? You know what I mean? It's like the child should always come first, you know? These, you know, they are the future. They're the ones that are gonna be, you know, whenever we get older, they're gonna ones, you know, become older, but then they're gonna be able to work, they're gonna be able to do stuff. You know, they are the ones that matter for later on in the future. They are the future. But anyway, she goes on to say that her father owes over $250,000 in child support, and that she was neglected, abused, and whenever they were younger, her father assaulted her mother and her brother, and he was a domestic abuser, and that he also pushed them and also kneeled on her brother's back, which, you know, I don't get what type of father does that, unless if their brother is like taking steroids and is just absolutely buff. You know, maybe that, but I mean, still, just like, why would he even do that to your own son? And also, she claimed that her father is a racist because during court, she said that he wanted custody because her mom was letting her associate with black and Hispanic people, and they're going to get her, you know, into drugs, exploit her, and steal her money, like in the entertainment industry. Which, in my opinion, you know, it's not just black and Hispanic people. You know, it's everyone under the sun. You know, white people, Asian people, anybody under the sun. Like, it's anybody. You know, anybody can exploit them. You know, especially children like her. You know, so I don't know. You know, it's messed up. You know, like in this industry, like in the industry and where she lives, California, like that type of industry. You know, like there's a lot of predators. There's a lot of people that like cupcakes. Let's just put it at that. And you know, I would say that, you know, she would probably be like a main target, or either just any type of girl that is around her age, or either even younger. You know, there's a lot of nasty people out there that would do creepy things. Let's put it at that. And she also says that he was just lying, and he was just saying that just, you know, to take her money and just take control of her career. I don't disagree with her from what I have seen, you know?
As you fucking know, there's a lot of shit that happened when I was famous. And a lot of that involved media and the press slandering the fuck out of my family, me and my mom. Number one, my mom was not fired. It's actually insane how fast that spread. No one did any fact checking. My mom was not fired, she resigned. And afterwards, the realty company that she was with, after they lied about it, they were still charging her desk fees after she resigned, thousands of dollars, and she sued them. My mom sued the realty company and she won. She resigned. Oh my God, I've waited so long to clear that up. My mom did not get fired, she resigned. Number two, there have been a shit ton of random ass people, frauds, who have claimed to be my manager. I have never had a manager. All those people are con artists. They're exploiting my name for clout and for industry credit. And okay, this is where it gets into the death hoax. So, as you all know, Chris Hope was the one that did the death hoax. He was trying to sabotage me. Meanwhile, he was working with this other con artist that was claiming to be my manager, and they had a crypto coin together. Their plan was to fake my death and then promote the crypto coin, which, by the way, the manager admitted to. Where do I even start? 5 years ago, how much bullshit has been surrounding my name from the moment they would just report on it, even though it's not, just take your word for it. How much the press did not give a fuck about facts. They cared about slandering my name. They did not do any fact checking. As long as you claim to be my manager, they would just take your word for it. As long as anyone claimed that my mom got fired from her job just for controversy purposes, they would just report on it, even though it's not fucking true. I hope you realize how much bullshit has been surrounding my name from the moment I became famous till now. And I hope this cleared shit up for you. Biggest takeaway, my mom has always been supportive of me. She's been there for me my entire life. And we had both been abused by Christopher John Hope, my abusive absentee father. He is not the fucking good guy here. He wanted control over my career and my money, and I had to go through, me and my family had to go through even more years of abuse.
That's kind of it, I'll say, what is my final opinion? My final opinion is that, like I said, this is all alleged, right here. This is all alleged, so I don't want to say that this is 100% true or not, because, I don't know. I wasn't the one experiencing, the thing that she was experiencing, or whatever party was experiencing. So, take this with a grain of salt, I would say. There's been a lot of lies too, so I don't know if we can even trust her herself, But yeah, I think that'll be it for the video. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later.